Today we have the Frank Rovillstone, the jazz singer, the crooner,
Gonna sit right down and write myself a letter and make believe that it came from you.
and the founder of Easy Jazz Talks. Why do you think people love jazz?
It's because jazz music is about creation. So if you ask God, the creator, the universe, does he get boring? Sometimes he will answer no, because he's creating every time something. The main thing about loving jazz is creating, improvising. Improvisation is creating something new right now. So you cannot get bored of jazz. I'm thinking about it like for all my life that there were so many things in my life which let me down. A lot of things. Not people, I mean, even myself, I let myself down, but jazz never let me down. Because it's like, yeah, I can stop getting positive emotions from something in life, but I will be getting positive emotions from jazz. It's like only this way, no other way of jazz. You go on a stage, you will get what you want every time, every single time.
And if you understand that you're somehow you're bored from jazz music, you can listen for free jazz. It's a total improvisation.
But yeah, like jazz is like a diamond and it has different edges, and each edge it's like different
Shine
style of shine differently, sound differently, and it's just different style of jazz. Yeah, some people they like avant-garde, like or acid jazz. Not for me at all, but still, yeah, why not? Experiment.
About the chemistry inside of the band, inside of the jazz bands. So I heard that there's a common story when, for example, the rock bands plays and perform together. There is one day when suddenly inside the team there begins some kind of misunderstanding. Is it common in the jazz mathematic? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's not about chemistry, it's about the telepathic thing. It happens to me on a stage quite often, and every time I'm so surprised. Like sometimes I even
Hey, why are you playing like this? Why are you playing like this?
No. I mean in a good way. For me, I have only very good experience on the stage. Don't have problems with people. Some people have problems with me, but not me. I don't have problems with people, and yeah. So for me, it's telepathic things. Sometimes I scat the same line at the same time, and the piano player plays the same line that I'm scatting, and I'm like, how can it be real? Like, why? But then I realized that because you're playing with this guy for 2 years already, you just know all the things that happening under his fingers. So you just start scatting his line. That's how it works. And I think we have this very bad thing in jazz community everywhere. I think in every country of the world. We don't like to talk about it, but this is real. We have this kind of jazz snowberry. It's like when someone doesn't like other person by some reasons, and it's not like a lot. It's not a lot, but still, and I know why is it happening. It is happening because the more you become professional, the more you become intelligent, the more you think that all other people are stupid. So it works like this, but it doesn't mean that you have to become a bad person and behave badly. No, just be yourself. Be the first rule of jazz community for me, and I've heard it from a lot of best jazz musicians in the world-class guys. It's just simple: be a nice person. Be a nice person, that's all. Even someone is not nice to you, be a nice person. That's about me. I'm a nice person to everyone. I have much respect, much love, much warmth to all of people. And I think all my bands that I had in my country and everything that I have right now, it's because I love everyone. I respect, and I built my relationship with jazz musicians based on love and respect. That's why it works for me every time.
Jazz is about love.
Yes, yeah, yeah, that's why. Yeah, of course.
What is, in your opinion, the percentage of improvisation and preparation?
Preparation, we don't have.
We don't have.
I think we don't. It's like, yeah, here in Thailand, it was.
In every time of performing, you just can't do your thing. Yes, and every team.
I will tell you about Thailand, about other countries. Here, I was surprised when I came here around 3 years ago. It's because they do not have any rehearsals, never ever. You just go and do it. So I think the percentage of improvisation in Thailand will be 80 20s, 80% of improvisation, and 20% is it's just the theme of jazz standard. That's all. Yeah, just you need to understand where you are right now, how to begin, how to end. That's all. Everything in between is crazy improvisation. 80%. Yeah, and
And the US scene?
different. No, it can be like this, but as far as I know, as far as I see, and as far as I hear, they do it, and I respect that because I was the same in my home country. I did it the same. I had rehearsals. I loved some particular arrangements. In the US, they do it like this. Even Sarah Vaughan, we were talking about her. I was watching her videos of the same standard, but in the different countries. Everywhere they stick to some scenario. Even in each song, they have some scenario. They have some the way they communicate with each other on the stage. Of course, some of this is improvisation, but they have a scenario, and I respect this. I love this because if you want to get real jazz to super high level, it should be like this. It should be like jazz theater. I respect this very much, and I'm trying I'm dreaming about doing it in future when I open my jazz club in Bangkok.
Oh.
Because this is one of my goals. This is one of my big goals. Yeah, I'm planning to do it. It is super tough task right now, but I will do it definitely, and I want to make it on the stage to perform the really jazz theater, so people will go there to see it. It's gonna be unique, and I know how to make it. Yeah.
You have this video where Sarah Vaughan performing on stage doing jazz, and you say that many people, when people ask you about what is jazz, you just can show them this video, and all the questions will be over. So let's talk about this for a bit. Why do you think that this particular video is so illustrative and so extraordinary?
I'm trying to explain people that jazz is beautiful first, not that complicated. It is complicated for musicians, but not for the listeners. And the thing, it's like magic. It's the energy comes from jazz. And if we talk about this particular video, it's more like jazz ballad, and it's full of absolutely amazing, like the size and everything that Sarah Vaughan gives to the audience, and like the way she behaves, the way she looks at the musicians and everyone. It's more maybe about the theater of jazz, like the art of jazz. That's why I love this video. And it's like I don't want to show to the people something complicated or scary for them. No, let's start with easy things. Like jazz ballads are easy. They're slow, they're mellow, they're like absolutely great.
As for me, I like how there's no pause between she talking to the audience and beginning to perform. Like, look at me, and
yes, this is the most important. This video is full of conversation between the audience and herself, and the way she behaves, she acts. It's absolutely amazing. She's a genius. Not only genius, singer, genius, everything.
But I think it is kind of challenging to her to perform, because if we look closely to this video, we see how she's sweating. So that's why the second question comes in. So I think that is, in my opinion, that listening to jazz and playing jazz is pretty different things. Well, I mean, if the man listening to jazz, he will like satisfying his aesthetical hunger or some kind of this thing, and well, things got pretty different when you are on stage. Is it hard to play jazz?
If you listen carefully, she was sick that day. She had a temperature. That's why. Yeah, but of course we sweat a lot, but it's not about jazz ballads. It's about like bebop and up-tempo kind of stuff, very fast things. And yeah, of course, playing and listening, absolutely different things. There are some, not a major part, not a big part, just a small part of people who can understand jazz music almost the same way as musicians. And these guys, they will be the best audience ever. If they understand almost the same, they will be cheering, clapping, shouting, whistling, everything like this. We love this kind of audience. And of course, the best audience is musicians. If you have jazz musicians there, you'll be good. Yeah. So, but of course, playing jazz and listening, it's it's really two different worlds. It's just because we understand it's like usually everywhere in the world except maybe US or something. People they do not understand all the communications between jazz musicians, all the phrases, all the quotes from different jazz standards, everything like this, and like techniques or everything. Yeah. So that's why I'm not trying to explain this one. This thing can be explained by Emmett Cohen, my absolutely lovely, one of the greatest piano players ever right now. He's from New York and lives there, plays there, everyone knows him. He explains this kind of really complicated stuff. I'm not about this. I can do it, but I'm trying to explain why jazz music is beautiful and not complex. Don't be afraid. Just go and listen. What do you feel this time? Do you feel okay? What do you feel relaxed or something like this? Do you feel warmth? Do you feel some energy? I'm about this.
For example, okay, I'm ready to be the jazz singer or whatever connected to jazz.
Are you ready?
No, that's why I'm asking. What should I be prepared for?
For a lot of work, because if we talk about real jazz musicians, we have two different kinds. First kind is gifted. They're gifted. I mean, it's easy for them to play or sing. They don't even need any education, really, because they were born with it, or they just love the jazz music so much that they just take all this sounds and music inside of themselves and they just become the jazz itself. This is the first kind of people. The second kind of people, they truly love jazz the same way, but for them it's not that easy. They need to get proper education and then they really spend a lot of years there and they can become absolutely amazing for sure. But this is like and it's not. I think it's not only about jazz. It's about music itself. Some of the musicians get it so easy and fast, like our Asker. He's a jazz man, yeah, but he's like in the very beginning. But when he played yesterday, I was like, bro, you can do it. You just play. Oh my god, yeah. He's like this. He's gifted. It's easy. And some other people, they need to spend more time, sometimes years. That's why there is some kind of, how should I say, maybe like not battle between, but we have some confrontation between this kind of people. Sometimes, somewhere, it depends. For me, I personally respect everyone. Doesn't matter, are you like easy jazz musician or you got it with a lot of work, but still, even if we talk about people who got it easy, who has a talent and crazy gift, it's still a lot of work. It's still if you do not spend hours of practicing, no, you're not gonna be a jazz musician. So it's like sweating, suffering, in a good way, of course, but some of them suffer more, some less.
Hoping that one day we get the positive feedback from the audience. And
I think, as far as I know, from the very beginning of jazz music, even when it was absolutely popular, the same problem was, like, people were not listening. So even if it's like crazy band like Miles Davis or Coltrane, anyway, there were some people like shouting and talking loud, drinking and everything like this. So I think this problem was from the very first beginning, and we still have it right now. We're trying to do our best to. I think the best. If the musician catches the audience attention, this will show that this musician is great. And it's really hard to get the attention, you know. People sometimes they're in a different mood. They want to do different things, like
just drinking or knitting.
Yeah, and eat and have a great conversation, not about music sometimes. Yeah.
What is the similar thing like about love from back in the days? If we compare jazz traditions from back in the days, like Louisiana or the New Orleans, African American communities that played jazz back in the days, and comparing this thing to nowadays, new instruments, new traditions, new approach. Maybe there are some innovators who helped to develop the genre.
Yeah, it started with Afro-American people, with all their suffering and slavery and everything like this. So it started with blues. Blues has always been the music about pain. That's why myself, I don't like singing blues a lot. just sometimes, because if
Too
we,
painful, too painful.
it's just too sad, to be honest. It's too sad. So I think my personal opinion about this, I was thinking about it like a couple of days ago. I think that it was a really hard time for Afro-American guys in the very beginning, even after it got better. Maybe somehow, I think, they started making jazz, because jazz music is it's more positive thing. It's not a sad thing. There is a lot of jazz about positive things. For example, Louis Prima, oh my God, he made his shuffle style jazz crazy things. Like every time, it's like a performance. It's not like about singing or playing. It's about jazz theater. What I like in jazz, I love this kind of like acting on jazz, making some play of jazz. You know, they had a scenario, they made it on a stage. I love it so much. So yeah, I think so. The old jazz is like classic. I am a representative of traditions, of course, but even me myself, when I play jazz in jazz clubs, we play it in an absolutely modern way right now. So I think the level of improvisation is just raised 20 times from the very beginning. If we compare it from the very beginning with
And new instruments, maybe they're.
I think right now people can play any instrument. They can play, I don't know, on a chair. Like it's just, yeah, because jazz musicians are crazy. They can play anything, and it's not about new. It's not about new instruments. It's just about the way they. It's like, you know, I remember the thing that one guy told that, oh, I'm listening to Bill Evans too much. I think I should stop doing this because I will start playing like Bill Evans, but it's not working like this. Even if you're listening to anyone like for years, 10 years, you're not gonna sound like him. It's not working like this. You will be unique, absolutely unique person, absolutely unique musician. That's why I think it's each of us brings something new every time. So I think jazz is developing even right now with all the new musicians, singers, and instrumentalists. It's still developing, and I love it so much. I can see it, but I think right now in US we have the new generation of young jazz musicians. Because, for example, around 10 years ago, it was almost nothing. I mean, about new guys. And right now we have a lot of new guys in New York. I think this community really grows so fast. And I have a lot of faith in this. I truly believe that they will be our new jazz standard guys who will create this new jazz standard, not old jazz standard.
As a jazz man, what changed inside your soul, inside your perception, inside your mindset?
I think it's you must reach some level of human being before you start loving jazz. If you start loving jazz, it means like, man, congratulations, you're there. You're like, now you know more than anyone else. Now you're like on this level, so get started. And yeah, so I think first you change yourself, then you start loving jazz, and then jazz with your thoughts and everything inside of you, it makes you a better person like this.
Can you name some underrated jazz musicians?
No, I cannot, because it's everyone. I was thinking about it. I cannot. It's like each of them. Because if you ask any person in like on the street, like, can you name any jazz musician? And they usually say Frank Sinatra, Louis Armstrong, maximum Ella Fitzgerald, and that's all. That's all. Usually it's like this, but we have like plenty of others. So it's like it's easy to like ask people and you get answers they do not know.
Like what? Name some names. Just give me some names.
I think usually regular people, they know a lot of singers because it's easier to understand singers. But if we talk about instrumentalists, no, I don't think that they know guys, even like Coltrane or Miles Davis. For them, it will be too far away from understanding. And I cannot, it's okay, it's really okay, because we need to explain how to understand their music. Because instrumentalists, they will always be more difficult, more complicated than singers. Because singing, like any person in this world can sing. Even like if he or she, they think that they cannot sing, they can. That's why they understand singers better. That's why understanding instrumentalists is more difficult and complicated for them.
And what about the innovators? Some guys who helped to develop the scene. or influence on the scenes
If we talk about from the old times of 20s and 30s, of course everyone knows like Louis Armstrong and everything like this. But after this, it was Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Dizzy Gillespie, and they created crazy stuff. Really, bebop. Oh my God, everything. And it's for me, it's like a masterpiece style of jazz. Oh my God, they're absolutely geniuses. That's for sure. And right now we have, we have a lot of great musicians everywhere, even not only in the US, but for me, it's Emmett Cohen again. I already named him. He's like great guy, and I don't know. He has a lot of ideas inside of his genius head and everything like this. I love him. I watch his videos almost every day. He's one of the greatest influencers in US. He's making these videos from his home. Everyone in New York, they know Emmett's place. Like, and it's like his home. He has a lot of cameras everywhere, grand piano. The best musicians come there. They play a lot, and he just posts it and explaining what is happening on the stage. But this level of video is too difficult for like regular people, because he's explaining which quote this guy is quoting from other jazz musicians. It's even hard for me, like, okay, I gotta research. It's education for already very much educated jazz musicians. I'm making not this kind of things. I'm making education for the beginners.
Let's go to the question
All
that you're waiting for all this interview.
Okay.
Like tell us your story.
All right.
how you got in all this jazz.
It's gonna take a long time.
Take your time, man.
Oh, wow. It started in Thailand in 1999. I was 9 years old. We came here with my family for the first time in my life, and I think went to Pattaya or somewhere. And we had a friend there. He was a professional diver, and he had very big boats. And every day we were going, having diving there. It was sunset, and Frank Sinatra CD playing in the middle of this yacht, or how should we say, like big boat, yeah. So yeah, I realized that this is the music of my soul. So when returned back home, I just asked my father to buy me the album, The Greatest Hits. And he bought me 12 greatest hits of Frank Sinatra. And in 2 weeks, I was dancing with an umbrella, showing my grandmother like New York things. And yeah, that's how it started. And so yeah, I started singing when I was 9. But a lot of things changed then, because influence of my classmates and all the guys, like they were not about jazz music at all. So I had to to adapt to this kind of thing. So I started listening to hard metal stuff, rock or something, just to understand why do they listen to this music. So yeah, I had a lot of experience, and I think which is really surprising is that I was raised as a child. I was raised not by jazz music. I was raised by hip hop and R&B things. I don't know why. It just happened because of my friends and all of people around me. Of course, jazz music was there, but I think jazz completely came into my life because of some people, just some, only maybe 2 or 3 persons in my life. They just I remember in my school I had a friend. Her name was Anne. She presented me 3 albums, Rod Stewart album. But Rod Stewart, he's a rock singer, but he recorded 3 albums, The Great American Songbook. It's like the songbook of jazz standards. That's how I started to get in all these jazz things. That's how I learned a lot of standards, just by listening every day. I remember how my mother, she was sunbathing in the window. Can you imagine? Like the sun was going down on the floor. She was laying there somehow. So she's on the floor. My father is like on the bed, and I'm sitting somewhere near the computer. And every time they say like, put on some Rod Stewart things, like, and we were listening to jazz music. My family is very about music, yeah, of course. And I think all my adventures and discoveries through jazz and all the music, they were all together with my parents, because everything I was listening, they were listening with me. And then they just asked me like, let's listen to Tupac or like B.I.G. or something. Let's listen to jazz like this. And yeah.
When was the first time that you performed jazz in the club or something? And it was it a long way from your first steps in like a jazz lover to the exactly jazz performing in
Yeah, this
club?
is one more story, very important, which changed my life very much. I have a friend, and we were classmates. We were very good friends for all our lives. But this guy, he was a little bit further than me in everything, in understanding of life, of energies, of the universe, of the everything, how the life works and everything. And once he told me like, man, you got that good voice, you gotta start your band, you gotta assemble your band. I was like, no man, I'm a piece of shit, I cannot do anything. Like, yeah, but then we were like drunk as hell one day, and we just he told me like, let's go. We just opened my PC and just uh, went to some forum. I don't remember, like music forums dot something or something like this, and we just made a thing like looking for musicians, for soulmates. That's how I created my jazz soul, jive, no, not jazz souls, jive souls. Yeah. Yeah, so we created this. Then I got sober the next day. I deleted everything, but still the seed of my future was somewhere there. And one day, um, yeah, it happened like this. It was the sign from the universe. I was working that day in an insurance company, sitting there arguing by the phone, was in a very bad mood. Then I just went back to my car, just turned on jazz radio, and Jamie Cullum was playing there, and I was a great fan of Jamie Cullum. My mother showed me his one of his great songs that is called "7 Days to Change Your Life," I think, something like this. Yeah, and when I heard this song, I was like, it cannot be the truth, because it sounded absolutely like new jazz standard, like not like it was made in like those times, but it sounded absolutely new. That's how I fell in love with him. And so yeah, I came to my car. I just went down to my car. I turned on jazz radio, and Jamie Cullum was playing there, and I started crying, because I realized that this is the sign. Just go and do it. Just go and do it. It cannot be, because before it never you could hear Jamie Cullum on this radio. And yeah, I just went back to my office and started assembling band. That's how it started. Yeah, and I think we were rehearsing for 2 years before I got on the stage. So I think I assembled my first band around 12 years ago. We were rehearsing 2 or 1.5 years, and then we got our first gig somewhere in the worst club, in the basement, shitty place, something like this. Yeah, and yeah, when I started, I didn't know how to play live. I was just singing using the backing tracks and everything like this. When we started playing with real musicians, oh my god, I was so bad. I couldn't do anything. It was like, oh my god, yeah. So a lot of practice, a lot of just practice. Really, 1.5 year of non-stop practice. Yes, that's how it was.
The energy of jazz somehow founds you and comes into you. So let's pretend that the jazz is like woman or man. What kind of personality of jazz can it be?
It can be a woman, it can be a man, because we have a lot of singers, both genders, and it's okay. And I think it's kind of stereotype, even for me, like the way if jazz is a man, it should look like Frank Sinatra, right? Like suit and everything like
I mean,
this.
rap is about swag, is about like
Yeah.
good stories. Rock is about protest and stuff. So what jazz is about? The whole thing, like
I can tell you, jazz is about love, that's for sure. Because 80% of all the jazz standards are about love. And yeah, love first, and the second is a broken heart.
not like in blues, broken heart and poverty. on the
But
main
even
side.
I think even if when it's in jazz, it's not that sad.
Yeah.
But for example, there is absolutely amazing standard. It is called I get along without you very well. It's Chet Baker. I remember when I was so brokenhearted, I started listening to this song. I do not sing this standard even right now, maybe because it's too sad for me. And when I started listening, I was like, and he sang it. I get along without you very well, of course I do. And it's like he's trying to convince himself that he's okay after she left him. And I started crying as hell, because it's like I was in this situation right now. I felt the same thing, like, and I was trying to convince myself, like, yeah, you're gone, but I'm good, I'm okay. Oh, of course I'm not. So yeah, I think, and what is absolutely special about jazz standards, and I think it's special only about jazz standards and nothing else. It's the lyrics. They are so deep. They are so about life experience, about all the things that we had in our lives, but in a poetic way.
Metaphor.
Yep. So it's not simple. It's really crazy beautiful when you're listening, when you're trying to understand each single word of all the jazz standards. It's crazy. It's an art of music, art of jazz. That's why I love jazz. Jazz is intelligent thing.
You got your first album coming soon at
I hope
September.
so. Already, it's been already a year and still not released. Oh my god. Yeah.
What is it about?
It's for me. It is about. I was trying to show exactly the same things that we're doing on the stage. So we were not thinking about any arrangements, maybe just a little things.
Just life.
We just went there at the studio, and I was like, guys, keep it real. Just do it like we do it in our jazz club, home jazz club. Like do it like this. Yeah. And they told, yeah, of course, man. So it's like 2-3 takes. We just choose the best one that we like the most. And that's it. The most important idea of this album is to show the same thing which we were trying to show, to do it almost the same way as we are doing it on the stage live. Yeah. So it will sound very live.
So now you have your own band, right?
No, it's like, you know, when we talk about jazz music, usually we always have our favorites, but we do not have our bands which will be all the time with you, because everyone's super busy and have their own projects, and it's really unreal to have your own band, or you gotta pay them just a lot. They will stay with you all the time, like 24/7. But in jazz music, it's not working like this. We have really soul jazz mates, and we just ask them to play. Yeah, of course we have favorite guys, and we have. So like it's like a big family. You just call, are you available? Okay, not okay. You call other guy like this, yeah. And it's just great. It's great. That's why you can go to any place of the world, and you can become family just after 3 songs on the stage. That's what happened to me here in Samui. Some of my great friend he lives in Kopangan. He gave me a saxophone player from Israel. Oh my God, Roy Rosenberg, fucking genius. And he just gave me the context of the guys from here. And I just came on the stage, and after this we were hugging each other like we know each other for 20 years. And it works like this everywhere. Same when I was in Indonesia, in Jakarta, same thing. Just go on the stage, sing something, you're a family.
So this was the Frank Rovillstone, the crooner, the jazz singer, and we all hope that we soon will hear from him, like the new album coming in Spotify.
Yeah. Yep,
and
everywhere,
music everywhere.
for sure. And next year is gonna be the video album. So I'm planning to release it for the year, and then people will listen to it, and then I will release the whole video album of the same things that you can hear anyway. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be interesting. Then you compare your thoughts about how it was with the real things.
No, I know it's not the same. Make believe it can.